today's our program is GCD of two numbers using non-recursion in C language. It's a C program. GCD stands for greatest common divisor for two numbers. Here we are going to find. Okay, you see here I am going to save this program. You see here, for this first I will explain what's the GCD. You see here, this is the GCD of the program. You see here, first we have to take two numbers. Here it is a non-recursion concept. In non-recursion we use loops. Loops means iteration of the statements. Okay, so this is the non-recursion of GCD program. In this we should have two numbers, 15 and 5. Okay, 15 will be divisible by 5. So here this 15 is the m value, this is the n value. Okay, this 15 is the m, this is the n value. Okay, so here you see here, here I have taken two numbers, 20 and 15. So here 15 ones are 15, remainder is 5. Okay, this is the m value. You see here, 20 is the m value, 15 is the n value. M divided by n. Okay, m modulus n, that is the remainder. What's the remainder? 5. So this is the remainder. Okay, you see here. Next, what we have to do here, this is the place of m. So here I will take this value to here. So that means here m is n. That means n value is, this n value is assigned to m. Okay, so now 5 3 is 15. What's the remainder? 0. Okay, here now n is, how we got n? R value is assigned to n. That means n is equal to r. Okay, you see here. Next 5 3 is 15. Remainder is 0. Now this n value has to be placed in the m. That means m is equal to n. N value will be assigned to m. Okay, r value should be assigned to n. That means n is equal to r. How we got remainder? R is equal to m modulus n. Here logic is, first r is equal to m modulus n. Okay, how we got m? N value is replaced in m. That means r is equal to m modulus n. M is n. In this m we assigned n value to the m. Next, what's the n? N is r. That means r value is assigned to n. Okay, till we get n is 0. Okay, we have to do this process. Whenever we get n is 0, it's not possible. M by n, 5 by 0. The remainder is 5 only. Same value we will get. So till we get n is 0, we have to do the process. Okay, you see here, this is the program. Okay, we give the mn values, two values. We read through keyboard by using scanf. Okay, next, for example, if m is less than n, for example, if this m value is less than this, it's not possible to divide one number with another number. Okay, so m should be divisible by n. For example, if m is less, for example, if this value is less than this n value, it's not possible. At that time, what we have to do? We have to do the swapping. Okay, how we do the swapping? For example, if I give m is 15, n is 20, here m is less than n. At the time, we have to swap the two values. M is 15, n is 20. What we have to do? We have to exchange the m value to temporary. You see here, m value should be assigned to t. Now m is empty. What we have to place in m? We have to place n value to m. You see here, n value should be placed in m. Now m is replaced by 20. Now n is empty. N is empty. Okay, what we have to place in the n? The temporary value. This temporary value should be placed in this n. What's there in this? 15. That should be placed in this. This is the swapping. If m value is less than n, then we have to swap, interchange, exchange. Swapping of two numbers, interchanging of two numbers, exchanging of the two numbers. Okay. After exchanging, if m is less than n, we have to exchange. Unless, for example, if m is greater than n, at the time this block will not be executed. Okay. Next, we call this function. Whenever we call this function, you see here, this is the call function, calling function, declaration of a function, invoking a function. Whenever we call this function, we will go to called function. Okay. You see here, these are the actual parameters, actual arguments. What I placed, I gave here m is 20, n is 15. These are the values, actual parameters. Okay. So this m value will be copied into called function m. This n value will be copied into the called function n. Okay. These are the formal parameters, dummy parameters. Here you can write x, y, a, b, p, q, any variables, any two variables. What we pass the values to these parameters, to these variables, that values will be copied into the called function. This is the call by value. What's the call by value? What we pass the values to the call function or calling function, that values will be copied into the called function. This is the called function. Definition of a function, defined function. This is the declaration of a function. This is the defined function. When we pass the values to this call function, that values will be copied into the called function. Okay. Now this is the call function, this is the called function. Now we passed these two values to these variables. This is the pass by value or call by value. Okay. Next, you see here int r. I have taken r for remainder to find the remainder. Okay. We divide one number by another number. For that purpose, to calculate remainder, I have taken here r. Okay. R is equal to m modulus n. This is the modulus operator. It gives remainder. You see here 15 by 20 by 15. At the time what we will get? 5 is the remainder. Next, what is there in the n? That value should be assigned to n. What is there in the remainder? That value should be assigned to n. Okay. You see here m by n. Okay. R is m modulus n, 20 modulus 15. R is 5, remainder is 5. Okay. Now how we get m? This n should be placed in m. M is equal to n. That means n value should be placed m. M is equal to n. N will be assigned to m. Next, what's the n value? N is r. R value should be assigned to n. Okay. You see here that here I have written r is m modulus n. That n value should be passed to the assigned to m. R value assigned to n. Okay. At the time what we will get? R is 5. 20 by 15 modulus 20 modulus 15, remainder is 5. Okay. That what's the n value? 15. That n value 15 should be assigned to m. 15. Next, what's the remainder? 20 modulus 15, 5. That 5 should be assigned, remainder 5 should be assigned to n. This is the value. Now this while loop will be iterated till we get n. Till the condition true, the while block will be executed. Whenever n is 0, we stop that. What's the m? That value will be returned. Okay. Next, what's the n value? 5. We pass that 5. 5 not equal to 0. Starting time 15. 15 not equal to 0. Now n is 5. 5 not equal to 0. Yes. So here, what is the r is m modulus n? You see here. Second time we will come here. Now m is 15, n is 5. Okay. 5 3s are 15. Okay. You see here. 5 3s are 15. Remainder is 0. Okay, you see here, whenever we pass the n, is 5 not equal to 0, at the time r is m modulus n. What's the remainder? You see here, r is 0. You see here, r is 0. Next, what is the n value should be assigned to m. n value should be assigned to m. Okay, here n value is assigned to m. Okay, what is the n? N is r. R value should be assigned to n. Okay, next, what's the n? 0. 0 not equal to 0, condition false, we will come out. Okay, now condition false. What is the n value? 0. 0 not equal to 0, false. So what's the m value? We return that m value. Okay, so here this function will return integer value. That value will go to here this function. This is the head, this is the body. We return m, integer value. Okay, that 5 will be sent to call function. 5 will be assigned to GC. Okay, now GCD value is 5. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, so here what is the program? We have to take variables. We give m n values. If m is less than n, then we have to exchange the values. Then we call the function. From call function we go to called function. Okay, we find r m n values till n is 0. We have to do this process. Whenever n is 0, we have to stop that. What's the m value? We return that m value. That is the GCD value. For 20 and 15, 5 is the answer. Okay, here I have shown here 20 and 15. Here r value 5, m value 15, n value 5. In the second process, r is 0, m is 5, n is 0. Whenever we get n is 0, we stop the process. We return the m value. M is the 5. Okay, m is 5. This is the answer. Whenever n is 0, it's not possible to divide with this number. Okay, so here you see here, this is the program. You see here it's not required. Okay, you see here, we give the mn values, we read the values through keyboard. If m is less than n, we swap the values, we call the function, then we go to called function, then we do the process till n is 0, then we return the m value, then we will come to here, that m value will be assigned to GC, then we print that GCD value. Okay, you see here, now I am going to compile and execute this program. You see here, compile and run. You see here, 0 errors. Enter mn values. M is 20, m should be greater than n. N value is 15, then GCD is 5. This is the program for GCD of 2 numbers using non-recursion. In the non-recursion, we use loops, while loop, do while loop, for loop. Okay, in these loops, iteration process will be there, but whereas in the recursion, a function is called by itself. Here, iteration in the non-recursion, this is the program of non-recursion for GCD of 2 numbers. In non-recursion, we use loops. In the loops, iteration will be there. Okay, but whereas in the recursion, only a function is called by itself. In the recursion, only function. In the non-recursion, we use loops. Iteration will be there in the loops in the non-recursion. Whereas in recursion, a function is called by itself is the recursion. Recursion will be applicable for a few programs, but whereas in the case of non-recursion, it will be implemented to all the programs. Okay, non-recursion program will be executed very fast compared to recursion program. Okay, why? Because in the recursion we have to push the values into the stack. After that we have to pop the values from the stack. Okay, so in the recursion it takes a long process. whereas in the non-recursion execution will be very fast. Okay, so this is the program for GCD of two numbers using non-recursion. If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thank you.